Alone on a narrow dirt road somewhere in the countryside, my headlights were the only source of light and the fields on either side were almost pitch black. The sky had no stars that I could see. I had been driving for hours and I was tired. I wanted to go home, but home was still far away. I tried not to think about how isolated I was out there. Then I saw something. There was a figure on the side of the road ahead of me, crouched near a patch of weeds. The eyes of the figure caught my headlights and lit up in a strange way, like two little points of light. I thought it could be an animal, maybe a big dog, but it looked too upright. The thing was near the edge of the narrow dirt road. I slammed on the brakes and the car slowed down. When I realized it was shaped like a person, I jerked the steering wheel hard to the left. I felt the back of the car slide a little on the loose gravel. I tried not to hit it, but I lost control for a few seconds. The car was half revved, the engine was still running, the headlights were shining all over the field, empty field. I let out a shaky breath. The figure was behind me now. I wanted to look for it in the mirror, but I decided to check the front first. My bumper was scratched, something I didn't believe. The car was undamaged. I hated the idea of opening the hood in the dark, but I felt I had to. I also wanted to confirm what I saw. I pulled the handbrake and stepped out. Outside the night air was cold and I smelled damp earth. There was gravel under my boots. My shoulders felt tense. I heard no insects, no rustling from the field. I saw my car headlights casting a weak light into the distance. The beam showed empty land, some scattered bushes, and a curved fence in the distance. In the distance I turned to face where I first saw the figure in the dark behind me. I could make out a shape. It was standing near where I had steered. It had the same bright eyes that looked like they were reflecting light, but I didn't know what light could reach them. Now I raised my hand to shield my eyes from the glare of car, but the figure was too far away. In the dark I could only see its silhouette. It seemed taller now, not hunched over. It stood very still. I opened the hood and bent down, shining a small flashlight I kept in the glove box. I checked the radiator, hoses, belts. I listened to the engine. It was idling, but not too bad, nothing serious. I just needed a moment to calm down. My heart was beating fast. My breathing was shallow. I tried to breathe slower. I could feel sweat on my neck even though it was cold. I kept glancing over my shoulder, but every time I looked away and back, the figure seemed to get closer. Not much, but it moved forward whenever I looked away. At first it was at least 30 yards away. After a few glances, it was about 20 yards away, then less than that. It wasn't going in the right direction. It moved, only moved when I wasn't looking. I never saw it walk back in front. It was just in a new position. Every time I turned around I slammed the hood shut and backed away until I felt the car door behind me. I was still staring at the figure as I reached for the door handle. My hands were shaking as I pulled the door open. I wanted to leave immediately, but I had to turn my head to get in. As I did I saw from the corner of my eye a slight change in the figure's position. As I got in I locked the door. I don't know if that lock matters. The figure had no visible tools, no visible weapons, just a strange posture, and those eyes caught the light. I tried to pull forward and straighten out, but I noticed my front wheel was stuck in a small groove. The car shook when I hit the gas, but it wouldn't come out. I shifted into reverse trying to get some momentum, but I could only spin the tires. Every time I glanced in the mirror I saw the figure getting a little closer. I tried trying to turn the steering wheel to get a corner, but the car won't jump. I bang on the steering wheel and swear under my breath. I turn on the headlights hoping to see better. The figure's head jerks back as if bothered by the brightness. I see more detail now. The figure looks human, but his clothes are hard to make out. It looks like he's wearing something loose. The face is unclear, but I can see pale skin where the eyes reflect the light. The eyes don't blink. The body is thin. The arms hang loosely. The figure's knees are slightly bent inwards. Only about 10 yards away, his chest rises and falls as if he's gasping for air. I can't hear breathing, but I see movement. I try to say, "Hey," I shout through the closed window. "What do you want?" No response. He doesn't make a sound. I think maybe he can't hear me. I stick my head out the window a little and shout again, "Do you need